Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome, 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 welcome. It is Wednesday. It is Wednesday, the 3rd of September. And yeah, it's quite quiet on football front to some extent, especially regarding Arsenal. Let's be real, because it's international break. Nothing special is happening. Obviously, there are some rumors rumbling that Saliba and Saka might be scheduled up for a new contract, and that at some point during this year, let's just put it that way. Besides that, there's nothing too much regarding Arsenal. Obviously, some people are talking about it, some people are not. Emmanuel Petit has spoken on Arsenal and Arteta. There are a bit of a stuff here or there happening, but ultimately, there is nothing special going on. So I thought, why not today? Why not today? Let's just chill. Let's relax. Let's talk football. Let's debate about football. Let's talk about, as I said again, football, Premier League, Arsenal, transfers, basically whatever you want to talk about, people. Anything, let's be real. Anything you want to talk about, we can just sit here, we can chat, we can discuss, we can do anything because, need to step away from Arsenal a tiny bit. Yes, I miss football, but to some extent as well, have covered transfers so much throughout the whole summer. Thankfully, to some extent, the transfer window is closed, so we need to talk about everything. So let's talk just about football in general. Literally talk about general. And just before we get into that, smash the likes, subscribe if you haven't already. Of course, put your thoughts in the live chat, your questions to me, whatever you want to discuss. And I'm going to kick things off with something different. I'm going to start with a big thank you, because yesterday we hit 900 subscribers. At the moment, we are on 901. We are 99 subscribers away from big 1,000. Let's be real, people. So let's give a round of applause, and a round of applause for you all, for your support, your likes, your comments, discussions, opinions, laughs, everything. Because without you lot, it would not be possible. Without you lot, I wouldn't be in this position, no matter how small or big it may seem to anyone. So big thank you for your support. Thank you for everything. Big up to people I am in group chats with, who have supported, who I have talked to, who have given me advice and everything. So big up to you all. And let's get into everything. Big up, Charles. Big up, Charles. Hope you're doing well today. What about the club rejecting 40 million offer for Martinelli as their value of him was 60, right or wrong? Obviously, if you just talk about just share for the last 2-year performances, it's wrong. Let's be real. It is wrong because you could argue that Martinelli is not going to get better. Let's be real. You could argue Martinelli is not going to get better. But the big thing for me is, obviously, there were talks that Mikel Arteta himself has said that, not has said, but it has been talked about in media, that Mikel Arteta himself put a veto on Martinelli that he doesn't want to lose him, that he doesn't want Arsenal to sell him, basically, because apparently Andrea Berta was ready to sanction the deal, but Mikel Arteta said, well, no. Let's just put it that way. At the same time, you could also argue that there is a possibility, let's just put it that way, that if Arsenal fall flat on their ass again this season, Mikel Arteta might go. A new manager is going to come in. It's going to be somewhat clean slate for everyone, because it's a new manager. He will need to discover things. He will need to look at things, how he envisions the players in the team. And I am I'm standing on this hill and of this thought that under different manager, who is attacking-minded manager, who plays attacking football with open spaces, direct with expansive football, like we used to play in 22-23 season, I think Martinelli could actually be a very, very, very decent footballer. Let's just put it that way. Because we have seen what Martinelli can be, and there was the hope that he's going to get better from there. That was supposed to be his breakout season, but obviously it has gone in complete opposite direction. Let's just say it as it is. So, yeah, to some extent it is wrong. To some extent it is right. Whether you like it or not, it would be nice. Let's just say we sold Martinelli. Would there be a guarantee that we would have signed the left wing? No, there wouldn't. Let's be real. Because looks like Eze is going to play there, so there's also a big possibility that we wouldn't have signed. Just that Martinelli sell just would be just to balance the books wage-wise, money spent-wise, and everything. So it is what it is. You could also throw the same question about last year's summer, because Arsenal rejected 40 or 45 million bid from Palmeiras for Gabriel Jesus last summer. And that is obviously in the same boat, right or wrong. For all the Arsenal fans, it's the wrong decision because 265 a week, that's insane. And he doesn't play. So there's also lots of that to that. Big up G Wheels, big up G Wheels. What do you think of this manager blaming Eze for loss? Well, he's an idiot, isn't he? I know it sounds very blunt, very straightforward, but I must say it is like that. You cannot blame the players. Let's be real, because yes, some players maybe don't perform to their best of abilities. Yes, it is on the player. At the same time, it is on the manager because he, first things first, keeps playing him. Second of all, he's not adjusting the tactics, the system to carry the player to help him out. Let's be real, because Arteta is very stubborn in that way. And he always preaches, Mikel Arteta always preaches that he doesn't want to call out a single player. Yet at the same time, he calls them out. He has called not just Eze out, he called Emil Smith Rowe out, he has called Raya out, he has called quite a few players out. So it's double standards, it's hypocritical, let's be real. But overall, it's very disrespectful. Let's say it as it is. Big up AFC always. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Thank you. Hopefully, we very quickly reach the big 1,000. Hopefully. Big up abs. Big up abs. Hope you're doing well today. Wasn't your stream just before went live as well? Nice stream, just nice chill vibes, just talk and discussions, nice questions and everything. And obviously, if anyone's available from people I know, let's just put it that way, from group chats, you know, your abs, obviously, BBK, Cape, Gary, and Views, Shane, Kyle Walsh, anyone, just you're open to come on, just let me know and I will drop you the link. Big up Andrew. Where do we even go from now on with Martinelli? That is the big question. Can we have a second chance, or if we have done and dusted him? I think it strictly depends on two factors: what kind of season he has this season, and who is the manager next season. Because let's just say if a new manager comes in, right, you could give him one more season potentially to see what is what, especially if that manager is proven and you kind of can see how he would fit in his style, and he could be playing a key role. And Martinelli is still recoverable. Let's just put it that way. Martinelli is also 24, if I'm not mistaken. Martinelli is also 24. So it's not like he's 50 years old. It's not like he's 34 and he's not going to do anything. Let's be real. So definitely there's also food for thought in those terms. Big up Wahaha. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Martinelli will be 100, let's just say 100 billion times better under a different manager. This kid is a good player. What's happening to Nelly is Arteta effect, concentrate on defending all the time. And that is the case. Haven't seen him, like, I have played football. I have played different types of sports, and I always been the forward. I always been a striker or a winger, or when I play, let's just say floorball, I always been the left-sided, right-sided player and everything. And yes, you have to defend, but to put such emphasis for attackers to defend first and then come back to defense, it's no wonder that players are getting injured. They're run down. They barely have any energy left to do anything. It's actually kind of insane. And that is also, yeah, Martinelli's downfall, let's be real, it is partially on Martinelli himself, because you would think he kicked on, but injury came at the worst time possible, because it came at the time when Mikel Arteta implemented a new system again after the 22-23 season. It never caught on with him. Martinelli hasn't developed his game as well. That's on Martinelli, let's be real. But on Mikel Arteta is the fact that he has done nothing to help the guy out. He has done nothing to help the guy out to adjust, to fit into the system. That is the thing. Because with Mikel Arteta, you have to remember that, unfortunately, he does the things opposite way. Usually, managers should be adjusting the system, tweaks and minor tweaks and changes here or there to fit the player and to elevate the player. But Mikel Arteta does the other way around. He adjusts the player to fit his system, because with Mikel Arteta, unfortunately, it's his way or the highway. So that is again on Mikel Arteta 100%. Now I have hope that Arteta gets the sack. No indication unless he does a total blunder, which I also can't see. And that is the thing. This squad is good enough, with Mikel Arteta or without, to finish, let's just say, top 4 in the league, to go far in certain cup competitions. So at the end of the day, right, he also might not go. unless there's a massive pressure from the fan base gets unified, they are as one, and that is never going to happen. Let's be real, based on how much some people glaze Mikel Arteta, and Mikel Arteta inners are much more than outers. Obviously, I think the biggest portion of the Arsenal fan base are split in three parts. I would say about 5% of the fan base are Arteta out. Then you have about, let's just say 40% that are Arteta in. And then you have the 55% in the middle who are sitting on the fence, basically, who still have not decided, and they are just waiting how the season is going to play out. Because even some of them who were heavy Arteta in last season, at the end of last season, started to question him heavily. And now with the signings we have made, there are no excuses. Arteta blames everyone except himself. Yes, thanks, 100%. After a never-before-seen transfer window in club's history, can fans and Josh not ask for 3 points at Anfield? We can always ask 3 points at Anfield. It's been 13 years now since we've won there. 13. And yes, he has gotten mostly draws there. Oh, but top six record, all that crap, right? But he got mostly draws here. We have come back from being 2-0 down, but we have also screwed up the lead when being 2-0 up. So it's just like our seasons. We were leading by a mile and we screwed it up. We were chasing and we didn't catch them. We screwed it up. So at the end of the day, I think after that 2-0 being down and then coming back, Arteta has massive scars and massive PTSD from those times. Hence why he goes on Anfield and parks the bus now. Big up Drake. Big up Jay. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. I have, and mind you, if it's more of a conspiracy. Let's see. Arteta was in for Zubimendi and Madueke, but the rest of the signings aren't his profile and may, not will, become more neglected. Zubimendi, I think, is Mikel Arteta signing because we wanted him already last year, so that is Edu and Arteta. Madueke also feels like Arteta signing. Gyökeres is definitely Berta signing. Eze as well is 100%, I would say, Andrea Berta signing. Now, Kepa, go figure. That is just a man, a goalkeeper. At the same time, it doesn't fit Arteta, but also it doesn't fit Andrea Berta. Then again, Andrea Berta wanted to sign a cheaper goalkeeper so he can spend money elsewhere, and that actually makes sense. Then moving on to Norgard, I think it was a cover buy just for Jorginho, and I think that is also just for squad depth, long-term rotation, at least the hope, but he still hasn't played because he's injured, so I think that would be on Berta for the squad management. Who else? Mosquera, that is on Berta 100%. So, yeah, I can see that. Who are your next major prospects for the Arsenal project? Ex-player against Cesc? No, I don't want Cesc. Someone with zero relation to Arsenal and history. Yes, I want something like that. Unai and Arsene both like that versus Graham Arteta. Personally, for me, next manager should be a manager who has done it, who has won the league. I'm not saying Premier League, right? But who has won one of the top 5 leagues and one who has at least won Europa League or Champions League. We need a proven winner in the team because it's very evident that this team is good enough to get us to a point. Arsenal have gone to a point where the squad is good enough to win stuff, and something is holding this squad back. And unfortunately, based on the last, let's just say 3 seasons, 22-23, 23-24, and 24-25, the common predominator in this has been the manager. Because this manager hasn't gone over the line with these players, so these players as a unit don't know how to win. They don't know how to win, and they don't know how it is to lose a final. So I would say that this is on manager. And for me personally, for next Arsenal manager, as I said, I would want a proven winner. So that would be, I would say, Simeone, Inzaghi, Nagelsmann, Flick, Luis Enrique. Managers who have been there and done it all, basically, to some extent. Martinelli wasn't given the platform to develop his game. The kid has been turned into a left back under Arteta. He's a left wing back, touchline winger. He's a left mid in a 5. If let's just say Martinelli was left mid as in a 5 at the back or 3 at the back, right? He would be fantastic, I think, because he can just run up and down the field. He can defend, press, and he can go ahead and cross the ball mostly. So that kind of would work for him. And he has lost all confidence. That 100% I believe. He has lost confidence and belief. Because there are times when he takes a shot, when he's in positions where he used to score 9 out of 10 times. when he used to score with his eyes closed in that 22-23 season. And you cannot tell me that all of a sudden he cannot finish his dinner in the same positions 5 out of 5 times. Like, that doesn't happen like that. You cannot have this type of situation happening with a player. It's all deal with confidence. Let's just say it as it is. You think Martinelli would be like this under... No, he wouldn't. Under Klopp, Inzaghi... Oh, sorry. Also Inzaghi, to be honest, Luis Enrique. Even Arsene Wenger, if you wish to say. And we saw how he was under Emery as well, playing through number 9. Martinelli hasn't been utilized in number 9, but he could play there very, very promisingly. Let's be real. So I think it is Mikel Arteta factor quite heavily, I would say. But it's also Martinelli. Basically, Mikel Arteta, by changing the system, Martinelli getting injured at a similar time, has quite heavily damaged his confidence as well. Big up, AJ. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Like the stream, people. Subscribe if you haven't. Big up, big up, big up, big up. It's what... I don't know, let's just say 1,000,000% clear. Arteta can't wait for Gyökeres to fail. He never set up in a way to help the center forward. Arteta's yeah, I know it's a conspiracy, but since Arteta in this transfer window lost battles for the 2 biggest players we have signed this summer, right? On top of that, those were 2 players fans wanted quite desperately, which is ironic because Arteta didn't want them, right? In Gyökeres and Eze. It feels like he's sabotaging them because he puts Gyökeres up there with no service, no support, and he did the same with Eze because Eze easily could have started the game against Liverpool and he just chose to didn't. And there are no excuses for him not to start. Let's be real. There are no excuses. So I think that also could be a conspiracy theory from my end. Whether you agree or not, let me know down in the live chat. But I think Mikel Arteta could be sabotaging them on purpose just to show that he is right and everyone else was wrong to some extent. And I would not also be surprised if it comes to a point during the season that if that happens or something indicates that, for example, players like Rice, Gabriel, Gyökeres, Eze, even Saka, maybe to some extent, start to rebel and go against this manager. I wouldn't be surprised because you can tell sometimes by the body language that players are also sick of this crap. Gabriel Martinelli is an attacking football, watching 15-goal season. Martinelli is that type of a left winger / center forward, number 9, who should be getting double-digit goals every single season and then add about 5 to 10 assists every season. He is that type of winger. And you can see the potential and abilities he has and he possesses to do that consistently. And that is on manager to get out of him. And it's very evident that he can't do it. Big up Eros, Mikel music in the building, Benteke music in the building. Like and subscribe, people. Big up Eros. Hope you're doing well. What's the predictions for relegation? It's super early, but so far, at least Sunderland got 2 wins already. Last season, Southampton got 2 wins for the whole season. Wolves could be going down. That's the big question. At the moment, it's very weird because, obviously, as you said, Sunderland have gotten 2 wins, right? And they have bought about, 12, 13 players this window, basically more than a whole 11. And they are very good signings. For Sunderland level, they are very good high-end signings, which would indicate that they could be staying up. Obviously, the thing is, though, what will happen when that November hits, when the Boxing Day starts to hit and all double headers start to hit? That will be the true testament because it could be also a new team factor that early in the season they get a few wins, but afterwards they just start to basically drop off heavily. Like, it depends. It really depends. I think time will mostly tell. Favorites for going down, I don't even know. I want to say Burnley, but I'm not too sure. I can see Wolves, as you said, going down. Brentford, for me, is a bit of a mystery. If West Ham don't get their shit together despite the win, they also could be in a bit of a trouble. Although, based on how they played against Chelsea, at least, it looked promising. I'm not going to lie. It looked very, very promising. Maxim Chuk. 8 likes, big up, people. Big up, big up, big up. I like my son and how complicated it is to spell in English. Dude, you could put it as a Wi-Fi password easily, just like Polish last names. Those are just uncrackable. Let's be real. Latvia, no attacker has improved under Arteta, none, and that is the case as well. Even Saka would be better under different attack manager, 100%. Saka is this good just because Saka is this good. Because Saka, game performance-wise, has dropped heavily. He just gets the GA because he is that good, in my opinion, on that right side. Plus, we quite heavily attack through that side, which also coincides with him getting the GA. Saka is the only last hope for us in the attack to some extent. You would think that Odegaard would chip in, but no chance. Left side is as ruined as it can be. So I would say definitely Saka hasn't, no attacker has improved. And also the biggest worry for me is, and I've been saying this for the longest time on the stream, that Mikel Arteta has never coached an out-and-out number 9, aka Gyökeres, for example, right? And signing Sesko, which he wanted heavily, would give him leeway because Sesko is not an end product. He needs to develop still, which would also coincide with Mikel Arteta that he needs to develop and figure out how to coach a proper number 9. With Gyökeres, he has no leeway, basically, to figure out how to coach number 9. He has to put him in the team, and it needs to work right now. So there are no excuses whatsoever. Nottingham Forest, Arteta starts the same midfield just to prove a point. I wouldn't be surprised. I think if Odegaard plays for Norway, Odegaard is going to start. I can see that quite heavily. Benteke music hits different, definitely. My father. 100%. Yeah, time only will tell. Big up, Hendon Gunner. Big up, Hendon Gunner. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Did Odegaard actually go away with Norway? Because that would be interesting to say at least. Yes, he did. He has been called up to Norway. They haven't sent him back like they did last year. Plus, Odegaard played against Liverpool. Obviously, he played the full 90 against Chelsea and he got sent back. But since Norway has not sent him back yet, and Norway play, let me quickly check, tomorrow against Finland in a friendly, right? I don't think he's going to be sent back. I don't think he's going to get sent back and he's going to play. Knowing Arteta, he's not looking at Anfield as spineless performance. He's looking at as we only lost from a worldie. He will play. I can see that as well. Don't be surprised if we play Man City at home and we see the same midfield. Don't be surprised whatsoever. Not gonna lie. What do you make of Glasner? Because I would take him in a heartbeat. I would take Glasner at Arsenal as well. 100%. He has won Europa League. He has won an Austrian League. He knows how to get it over the line. He won Crystal Palace, their first trophy in 60-something, 100 years? I don't remember how long it was. So definitely would take Glasner. He has shown that he has done it. He is playing very good football as well. He knows what it takes. And with the squad, if he had better tools at his use, aka the squad like we have, he definitely would be doing better. Now, could he win the league? That's a completely different question because I don't know. With Glasner, we need to figure that out because there are many managers who are very certified cup managers, right? Like we have seen Ten Hag, obviously. We have seen Postecoglou. We have seen Unai Emery. They are very certified cup managers. They know how to get the best in the cups. In the league, it's very, very shaky. Unfortunately, my worry with Saka is that he is already tired with injuries. Like, go ahead, might grind his legs into the ground. And that is one of the biggest issues right now. Because Saka is injured once again, obviously. He's going to be out for some time. And we need to see how he comes back, how he looks and everything. Because you could see that he was rushed back last year at the end when we had to play Real Madrid. He hasn't recovered from that injury because it took him way too little of a time to actually get injured again. And I just hope it's not a reoccurring theme. Because just like this, you could make Saka the most injury-prone player in the world. And his career could be cut short to some extent in terms of development, and maybe the ceiling might be cemented. It wouldn't be glass ceiling which he can break through. It literally would be cemented and he's not going to get better. And that is at the moment one of the biggest worries. Then again, obviously, we have some youth in the team, and I think Max Daumann will overtake Saka if this continues and Saka continues to be riddled with injuries. That could be the case. Because I would love to see Max Daumann and Saka in the same team, playing consistently together and with attacking football, ripping teams apart. I would love to see it, right? At the same time, yes, it is massive, massive, massive worry. Time to cash in on Saka, says Hendon. He is now the injury-prone phase of his career. That is the biggest issue. That is the biggest issue. Yeah, though Glasner wins trophies. That is the biggest thing. He has done it. Glasner actually has won quite a few trophies. If I'm not mistaken. He has about 4 or 5. Yes, Glasner has won. I actually can share the screen so you can see people. Glasner actually has won quite a few trophies. As you can see, Glasner, let's just put it that way. Glasner has won Europa League with Eintracht Frankfurt. He has won the FA Cup. He has won the Charity Shield, obviously. He's also won the Austrian Second League in 16-17 with Lask. So he's done quite a bit. And if you can see on the right, he has won all victories. Europa League final, FA Cup final, promotion the first league, Austrian Second League champion, Champions League participant in 22-23. How did they do in 22-23 season? 4 times has been in Europa League. He's been manager for quite a long time as well. So definitely Glasner would be an option. Could be a very good option. Gents, listen to this. Rene Slegas went to the board and said, please fix the squad problem. I will make the players good enough for Arsenal ladies that are real, man. Yeah. We need a literal leader as well as a manager, and we don't have that. He legit might turn into Wilshere, and that is the biggest worry right now with Bukayo Saka. We saw what happened to Michael Owen with when he got the ACL injury, just done pretty much instantly. He had moments of brilliance, flashes of brilliance over his remaining career, but he was never the same. He never recovered. And with Saka, if he turns into a Wilshere, that would be another youth prospect, another very high-end player from Arsenal being absolutely annihilated. Sadly, seen this all before with Owen, Wilshere, Ramsey, Walcott. Yeah, unfortunately. On Oxlade, yes. My 2 cents of Saka is Berta can sell if there's a chance. Arteta to spend to keep the money, if that makes sense. We should have never let Olise. Yeah, last summer when we didn't sign Olise, that was one of the biggest travesties in the world. Let's be real. Olise at the time would be perfect for our team. Number 10 right wing, can cook like no tomorrow. That would be phenomenal for Arsenal. The thing is, though, under Mikel Arteta, Olise would not be Olise, though, would he? Because for Olise to be the best Olise he can be, he needs freedom and open space. He needs place to dribble, to attack, to be direct, and we don't have that unless he can create for himself. But against low blocks, he would be phenomenal and amazing because he could carry the ball between 2-3 players, and that would instantly open up spaces. Big up, Darren. Big up, Darren. Hope you're doing well today. Hope you're doing well. What we're saying, people. Big up, Ash. Big up, Ash. I doubt Lisa would have chosen us over Barn, though. At that time, definitely. At the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if he did. I wouldn't be surprised also if he did. But now imagine if we last summer signed Olise and this summer we signed Eze, that actually would be quite amazing. Because think about it, Eze and Olise, they would be back together. There's also the combinations and everything. That actually would be quite nice. I'm saying that because there's a chance Arteta get to spend the money, we would get Saka, keep him. If they're to get the money, sell Saka now. I know what AJ means. Basically, if we sell Saka and Arteta gets the money, we shouldn't do it to some extent. If Berta gets the money, we definitely should, because we know what Arteta would want to sign. Big up, Godfrey. Big up, Godfrey. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Hope you're doing well. If Mikel gets a hold of Olise, he would be playing left center back. Well, he will be playing somewhere in defense, 100%. I'm seriously worried about Eze under Arteta. For me, the biggest worry with Eze is that he might get injury prone as well. Because Arsenal have this weird tendency when they sign a player, they can be the most durable players in the world and never get injured. And as soon as they come to Arsenal, they start dropping like flies. And that for me is the biggest issue, because we have seen how Mikel Arteta has run this squad into the ground. And our most durable players that almost never got injured are now injured. Like Gabriel, Rice, even to some extent, let's be real, to some extent, Havertz, Odegaard, Saka, they usually never get injured. They play every single game. And now that since we didn't have proper rotation, Arteta runs them into the ground. They play full 90s against even smaller teams where they could actually be rested. We are in this pickle right now that it could hurt us long term. Looking in the pipeline, what could happen to the team, it could do us more harm than good. Let's just put it that way. Big up, Jack. Big up, Jack. Spurs fan. Big up to you. Big up to you. Yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. Congrats on your European trophy. Congrats on your European trophy. Big up, people. Like the stream, subscribe if you haven't as well. But yeah, that is the case. That is the case. 90% of players who Arteta didn't sign gets treated differently, and not in a good way. Arteta is a terrible. That is also the case. Mikel Arteta, as soon as he won the FA Cup, got rid of every single player that won him the FA Cup. We have no players from that FA Cup winning starting 11, for example, in the team, right? Only player that we have that who have left, who are still at the club, sorry, is Martinelli, who was on the bench, half injured, and Saka, who also didn't play, wasn't in the squad at the time. Those are the only two. So they didn't even play in the final, which at the end of the day means they also don't know what it takes. Yes, semifinals and stuff like that, but ultimately they didn't play at all. And if you look as a squad overall, we haven't won anything. Yes, they have won separately stuff, but they also, most of the players that have won the stuff separately also have not been the main guys in the team to get them over the line. Only one that has done it, you could argue, is Declan Rice, with West Ham winning the Conference League. Hence why I wouldn't mind him being also the captain, him or Gabriel. Because he has been there, he has done it, and there's a possibility that with him we could do it again. He would be actually one that holds players accountable, encourages the team, pushes it forward. Because Odegaard, he leads the press and everything, right? And he can do that without the armband. And also, it also could be the case that the armband on Odegaard psychologically is affecting him. Because the armband of Arsenal or any big club is a very big burden to carry. And some players, whether they're the best players in the team or not, or close to the best, you could argue, they are not cut out for it. Sometimes the captain actually is not the best player in the team. Is the one that leads the team, that makes other players better than him even. And yeah, speaking of Gabriel Magalhaes, how many more injuries can he get away with before he's finished? Gabriel's 28, right? Gabriel is 28. I'm not tripping on this. Gabriel is 28, right? No, 27 even. As long as he doesn't get another ACL, he should be fine. But if he gets another big long-term injury, it could be problematic, to say the least. It could be problematic. And I said this as well for quite a while. Replacing Gabriel for Arsenal will be more difficult than actually replacing Saliba. I will stand on this hill and I will die on this hill. Because for me personally, Gabriel is the best player in the team, and he is the one that makes the team tick defensively more specifically. And finding that old school type of defender who is not afraid to tackle, be aggressive, to stick it into him, who shit talks, who carries the back line, who also is a very big threat on corners, set pieces, and everything. It's a very rare find these days. Mostly you can see Saliba type of defenders many times, who are forward-thinking, good on the ball, and sometimes that is actually the worst thing that can be. That could also not just be not the worst thing, but that is not just. It's helping in one way, but also it's a detriment, and it's also a burden for the other side of the pitch, because sometimes players tend to focus on the wrong things, and sometimes it feels like players focus too much on certain aspects of the game, neglecting other ones that arguably needs more work and more important. Because we can replace Saliba. Replacing Gabriel, that is much harder task, if you ask me. Unpopular opinion. Sell Saka. Why? He's declining in talent under this manager and is becoming injury prone. We can get way better right winger of Mbeumo level to replace him. I see the argument you're making there, but for me personally, if we can get like, I don't even know, 100, 120 million for Saka, yes. At the moment, well, still, he is not that injury prone, right? I would take that. The thing is, though, sooner rather than later, this manager has to leave. And the next manager, I think he will count his blessings that he's playing with such a player like Bukayo Saka on the right, that he has such a big talent at his disposal. And if you add Eze, Gyökeres, Dauman, Wanjeri on top with Skelly and everyone, I think that's actually going to be much better for him long term. If Wednesday doesn't start from now on over Martinelli, I will crash out. I cannot see that Brandon start for us again. I think he will. That is the sad part. Yes, you could think that Arteta took Martinelli off because he got sick of him to some extent. At the same time, Arteta was the one that to some extent vetoed the sale of Martinelli when there was interest from Saudi and Bayern Munich. Arteta said, I don't want to lose this guy. I need him in the team. And have you noticed that whenever Arteta speaks about Martinelli, 99% of the time, first thing that he mentions is his running and defensive efforts he provides for the team. So that alone tells that how crucial he is for Arteta, defensively more specifically, not even in an attacking way. I think we should switch right into Mendy roles. I can see that. I definitely can see that. And actually, that could be actually quite useful for the team long term as well. 12 likes, people. Big up to you all. Hit the likes. Obviously, not as many viewers today. There are many streams happening as well today. And it's also not the usual Arsenal talk. It's just football talk in general. We can talk about anything. Football, Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga, transfers, whatever. Like, it's not like specific topic based today. It's not facts, though, Darren. It just isn't. Especially because, Buemo, yeah. Gabriel is an engine. He's more commanding and imposing. He's a leader in him. Saliba is class, but he's bringing introvert. It feels that way at times, 100%. And you also saw last year when Gabriel got injured and Saliba had to be the one that leads the team defensively, he was making way too many mistakes. It also obviously it is a bit of a, again, psychological factor that he doesn't have that rock that he can depend upon next to him. Because Saliba always knows that Gabriel is going to be there. He's going to go that extra mile to put his body on the line to cover him if something goes wrong. Saliba doesn't have that trust in any other player defensively, at least as a left center back. So I think replacing Gabriel will be much harder than replacing Saliba. We have Hincapié to take over from Gabriel, definitely not on his level yet, but Hincapié being this good at 23. He is a good player. I don't mind him. He's something like Ake, something between Ake and Guardiola, something in those lines. He's a very good player. The question is, how will he look in Premier League? Because he hasn't kicked the ball in Premier League yet. That is the biggest question. We haven't seen him do anything. We will have to wait and see. We definitely will have to wait and see. Bayern fans highly rate. Yeah, I saw that. Bundesliga fans definitely very highly rate him. Big up, Dr. Seymour. Big up, big up, big up, big up. Big up, Mr. Butts. Big up. Hope you're doing well today. Big up, big up, big up, big up. Bienvenido, mio amigo. Big up, big up, big up, people. Hincapié will be used more as the left back role, but maybe just me. I also can see that. Definitely can see that. But now the big question is what he's going to do with Skelly. If we use Hincapié as a left back, that means Calafiori is the number one, because we have seen that Calafiori plays almost right now, he has played most of the minutes compared to Miles Lewis Skelly, which means, again, has there been a falling out, or Mikel Arteta does not like Skelly solely because he's that youngster who doesn't give a damn, who actually moves forward, who plays somewhat opposite of what Mikel Arteta wants, because Skelly takes risks. He takes unorthodox movements, unorthodox passes, dribbles, and everything, just like Mangieri, just like Dauman. And that, for me, is another question. Why Skelly hasn't seen that much time? If he was your so much number one left back last season, why he isn't now? It cannot be that the drop-off is so massive. Let's just put it that way. Big up Hyper Protagonist. Big up, big up, big up. Hope you're doing well. For sure, I'm really worried for Gyökeres and Eze. Arteta will sabotage them in doing that. He's going to sabotage club again. I'm very worried about that as well, because so far we haven't played at all to Gyökeres' strengths. Because if you watch just Gyökeres separately, you can see him making runs, very good runs, fantastic runs. You can see him making movements of the shoulder, shielding a player and everything, and they just don't pass it. Like, our players that don't pass the ball to him. Like, that for me is a very, 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 very annoying, to say the least. Big up, people. Big up. Big up, Beggy. Big up, Beggy. Have to go for a moment. I'll be back in 10 minutes. All good, all good, all good. Don't worry. All good, people. All good, Beggy. All good, all good, all good. But yeah, with With Arsenal, it is a bit of a weird one at the moment. And there are, ironically enough, we have signed 8 players. We have addressed number 9 issue. We have quite a few injuries. And again, we are in this position where we again have more questions than answers once again. Because these performances we have seen in the last 3 games, the first 3 games of the season, have again raised more questions than answers. And that is a big worry. Because just like previously, I just don't see the style, how Arteta has changed it so it helps us long term, especially against certain tactics and styles we struggle the most. Because it's the same old. And we just saw how Zubimendi was almost eaten alive against Liverpool. And I'm very worried we will see that more against Newcastle, Aston Villa, and teams that will high-end press him out of the game because they will give him less and less time. Hence why, I don't remember who suggested this earlier in the stream, right? Said that we should swap Zubimendi and Rice, put Rice in the 6 and Zubimendi in the 8. Because Rice is more press-resistant. He's a bigger body. He's more powerful. He has more strength. He will actually be able to maybe get out of those situations much more eloquently compared to Zubimendi. Trade Odegaard for Morgan Rogers. Dude, Unai Emery doesn't want Odegaard whatsoever. Skelly maybe in the 8. Hinkapia is low-key class. Looking forward to seeing him on the pitch for us. Oh, 100% I am as well. Skelly maybe in the 8. But do you see him playing in the 8 under Mikel Arteta? Do you see that? Because we don't see that often in general. Skelly by default is an 8/6. And the first thing he did is play him as a left-back. Like, that doesn't compute. Because Arsenal... Of the squad we have, more than half of the players feels like they play out of positions in general in this team. We don't have a left back. We play midfielders or center backs as left backs. We play center backs as right backs. We play 6s as 8s. We play 8s as 6s. We play left wingers as right wingers. We play strikers as wingers, and we play even number 9s as midfielders. It's such a weird thing when you think about it that it makes no sense. That is the thing. It makes no sense whatsoever to some extent. Ask Eze. Eze is not good enough in the wing. That's simple. We'll see. But yeah, for me, Eze has to be through the middle. But as long as Odegaard is here, that's never going to change, is it? Signed 8 players, but still need to cut off a lot of wood. And then we are still short. We still need, in my opinion, left wing. We still need a number left back. And you could argue we need a proper striker backup if we don't play Martinelli through the middle. Because I would love to see Martinelli more consistently through the middle. Screw Havertz, screw Merino at striker. Try Martinelli at striker more. Because whenever he has played as a number 9, he has been actually very, very good. Especially we saw that under Emery. On occasion, Arteta has done it, and he's been very solid. So the question is why, if it works, and it brings fruit, and it brings results, why he does not do it more often? That, for me, is the biggest question. Yes, I agree with swapping Zubimendi and Rice. Zubimendi is also very capable of box crashing, as seen in Spain. Yeah, he is capable. And why he doesn't do that, it's a weird one, genuinely a weird one. Why he doesn't do that in those terms. Trade Mikel Merino for Adam Wharton. That's not a fair trade, is it? That's definitely not a fair trade, to say the least. Yeah, MLS in 8 not happening under Arteta. Exactly, that for me is the biggest issue. The youth could be Arteta out at this stage. I wouldn't be surprised that they are. We saw that what happened to Wanyeri last year. He was fantastic when he played, and all of a sudden he holds bench. Oh, apparently he was late for a training. He signed a new deal, right? He signed a new deal which allegedly had guarantees of a better, more playtime. He played last year in Big Up BBK 889 minutes. Some Gooners will say he played 32 games or something like that, which sounds a lot, technically. But when you deep it, 889 minutes, you can round it up to 90. He played only 10 games. Out of all the 50 plus games we play every season, he played only 10. Yet he was still one of the best players, attacking players in our team last year. And it's not a coincidence that when we played Leeds, Odegaard came off injured, when Yeri came on, and somehow instantly our attack came to life. We were more direct, more dangerous, more open, more interesting. Let's just put it that way. Like, it's actually insane. And I think Mikel Arteta is anti-youth. Let's just say it as it is, because youth players has this, as every teenager, let's be real, this naivety to some extent, which can be bad, but it's also is very, very good thing. They are cocky. They want to prove themselves, which means they will push the ball forward. They will take risks because they want to showcase themselves. They will try and attack. They will not think about, they will in sometimes forget what manager has told them to do, right? They will lose possession more often, which is obviously instantly against Mikel Arteta's tactics and styles and ideology and all this stuff. Hence why, maybe that's the reason why Skelly doesn't play as much, because he, as a left back, did what number 8 should be doing, which doesn't compute, especially if you look at of just plain pure football point of view. And I think that's why Mikel Arteta doesn't play youth as much, because Odegaard plays safe, Martinelli plays safe, Saka plays safe. They all recycle the ball. They call possession. They are in control, right? With the youth, it's chaos. It's madness. It's Mazza basically on the pitch. But to score goals, to have openings, to create chances, you need that chaos. Because if everyone can see where everything is going and there is no movement, there is no dragging defenders out of positions, no nothing, they don't have to do anything, because they can sit still, defenders in their positions, and just block the passing angles, and that's it. We're never going to get in there like we do against mid-low blocks all the time. We never beat them. But when youth comes on, they instantly get the ball first thing, drive forward, take on defender, get past them, opening is instantly up because someone has to overcommit, which leaves open space, another player can run in. And somehow we don't do that. Somehow. Big up, Abs. Big up, Abs. Hope you're doing well again. Big up. Nice to see you here. Big up to you. Big up, Sean, as well. Big up, everyone. Reflecting on this last loss and going forward, I have come to the conclusion that I am League Gunner Northside levels of done with this club DSC. Don't blame you. Literally don't blame you whatsoever. Don't blame you whatsoever at all. 16 likes, people. Big up to you all. And subscribe to Abs as well. Waffle on. To this guy. Go subscribe to him as well. Yesterday came on the stream, brilliant stream. Absolutely loved it. We should be doing this more often, I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, go click the link, go subscribe to him, show him some love, people. You think there are no excuses and there is nowhere to hide? Oh, definitely there are excuses and there will be places to hide. But the cult within the club is so strong and AFTV feeds the pit. To be honest, I already am seeing the excuses. Injuries already. We have 7 players injured in the first 3 games. Oh. PJ Moel. Oh. And all this stuff. Oh, but it takes time. Oh, he needs to adapt to the league. Oh. There are excuses all the time. And no matter what is the outcome of the season, especially if it's another trophyless season, the goalpost will move. There always will be an excuse for something. That is the thing. They will never hold this manager accountable, because you can with these people who are just, as it is, top gooners. When you say, let's just say, the club needs to sort out the left wing position, the club needs to sort out striker, the club needs to sort out certain things at the club, they have no problem with that. As soon as you start to say Arteta needs to fix the left wing position, Arteta needs to fix the issue that the Gyökeres has no service, Arteta needs to fix that, instantly aggressive, abusive, they start to cuss you out, they call you toxic and negative and fake fan. And that just shows to some extent that these people are more Arteta FC than Arsenal FC at the end of the day, no matter how you look at it. Because people can call me negative and toxic all the time, but let's be real. I am an Arsenal fan. At the end of the day, club success, it's what matters to me. If Arteta does it, great, good for him. If next manager does it, great, good for him. I want Arsenal to win. I want Arsenal to win trophies. But I don't also want to happen at the expense of our players to an extent where they literally are running around the pitch, not even running, they're moving around the pitch in wheelchairs. Because also I'm human. I don't like anyone getting injured in those terms. World so small, you can put it on the edge on the pin. Yeah, furthest back I could trace is to mid 1800s. Mogilov Podolsk, mom grew up in Kiev and immigrated to US. Big up to you, big up Dr. Seymour, big up. He has Ukrainian roots as well. Big up to you, man, big up to you. Big up Tyrell Gunner TV. Big up to you, my man. Go subscribe to Tyrell Gunner TV as well. Big up to you, bro. Big up, big up, big up, big up. I'm back. Had to take a call. All good, all good. This is the last season for Arteta, and Berta is here to prepare for it. I think he already has. I literally believe that Andrea Berta already has a list of next managers who can take Arteta's place. He is like, these situations when you have some dirt on certain people and you just wait for the opportunistic moment to use that information you have that others don't know about. I think it's something similar here. I think he's going to wait till shit hits the fan to some extent, because Berta has done, separately from Arsenal, a very good job for the few months he has been here to some extent, right? And he has provided Mikel Arteta whatever he wanted. Obviously not Gyökeres Neze, because I didn't want those, let's be real, but he has given him the players, the squad, the rotation he wanted. And if shit hits the fan, he will go and just slide the list of the new managers under the doors of Kroenkes at some point. It's going to happen very silently, but at some point, it's going to go kaboom. Did you hear Cecil from MTV say we dominate Liverpool? In the first half, to some extent, I can see that, but overall, we didn't. I can't even begin to imagine the amount of delusion, read money. I must have to say, yeah, exactly. It's not being negative, it's being a realist. Yeah, and that is the biggest thing these days with all the Gen X, Gen Y, Gen ABCs, and all this crap. The world has turned into such snowflakes, let's be real, they are snowflakes, that you cannot say anything that disagrees with anyone's opinion. Because as soon as you do it, they take that as a personal insult to your livelihood. Like, that is the nuts part. That is the nuts part. Because for all that, for example, people who are set out, 99.99999% of the time, we just say what we think. We say and back it up with facts. We argue and debate with Arteta inners about certain situations based on facts and things. And as soon as the argument goes sour and they know they have no way back, the insults, rallies, screams, loud noises start to come out. And it's actually kind of nuts. Because Arteta others don't get abusive, at least verbally, as much. It's usually the Arteta inners who throw their toys at the pram, isn't it? Oh, big up Seymour. Polish and Italian. I did a genealogy a few years back. A lot of really interesting info found. However, a lot of info is hard to find because it was destroyed in the war. I get it. Oh, for example, a bit side note. For example, me personally, right? I live in Latvia. I'm Latvian, right? My mom has Polish roots, right? From the separate side, from my grandmother's point, from my dad's side, my grandmother has some French roots, and there's somebody else which I don't know anything about because, well, there's nobody to ask, and doing the research is quite expensive. Let's just put it that way. I just say. But yeah, people. What you're saying in the chat. I see you all talking. I see you all speaking and discussing ethnicities, which is quite nice. I'm not gonna lie, because your roots are the ones that makes you today to some extent. Some Gunners know that they can't say anything bad or they risk their access to special treatment they get from the club. Yeah, they're gonna lose their tea and biscuits in the press conferences. They rather sell themselves over to the club. But that puts in the good books and that pays the bills. Like, it is what it is. Let's be real. It is what it is. Because let's just say if Arsenal came to me and said, can you say this about the club and this about the club? We can grant you access to your skybox or whatever, guaranteed tickets and everything. But you cannot say this and this and this and this. You should keep a bit more positive profile because they definitely would go, their media team would go through my streams and they have seen what I say. And if they even approached me, that would be kind of nuts, given that what I have said, let's just put it that way, let's be real. But if they did Would I sell out? No, I wouldn't. That is the nuts part, because some things cannot be bought in life. People say everything has a price, but some things don't have price. And that is one of the biggest things you never can put a price on, is your honor and being truthful to yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you cannot be truthful to yourself, you are not truthful to anyone else. Because you cannot help, you cannot talk about anything and help others, arguably, if you cannot help yourself to some extent. You are not like that. Because how can you help someone when you're damaged yourself? First things fix yourself, then you can help others. Just put it that way. Big up my boss. Big up my boss. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Why do you say Henry Norris the bell? No, I know what Norris did, but I don't know, for statues, like, that is the biggest thing. Because if you have a club that is as big as Arsenal, right? And if you look at things what many people have done for Arsenal, to save them from liquidation, to save them from bankruptcy, memorable goals, memorable titles and runs and all this stuff, we would literally have about 50 people surrounding Emirates. And that is the one thing that, for me, I usually don't debate whether people should be deserving statues, because it's a very subjective argument. Let's just put it that way. Because my opinion will be that, for example, someone deserves, someone doesn't. Someone else will say he doesn't, but that one does, and it's gonna spark. It will be kind of nuts. But I get what you're coming from. He saved us from liquidation before the World War One and everything, and for that, definitely Woolwich and everything. Definitely for that, yes, he is deserving a statue. Like, but that for me personally, like, it's, let's just say 80% yes, 20% no, and everything. But yeah. And the rabbit holes is to research. You'll fall down one encounter 5 more. Yeah, that is the case. Because if you start looking into one, you have to look into 5 other. Those 5 go into another 5, and it's actually insane. Big up most wanted. Big up most wanted. Hope you're doing well. Arteta is still our manager. Yes, he is. Still waking up in the morning and not seeing Arteta sacked. I have some luck that we are international break, as I think if there was Prem, I wouldn't have the time, because my work is in the busiest point. It's been a while. Good for you, because you can focus on work. Maybe you can get a bonus for that and everything. Yeah. I know. He saved us from liquidation in 1913, moved to Highbury and everything, secured their 1990 promotion. Yeah, I know. In those terms, 100%, I know. We should sack Arteta, take a punt on Iraola. Areola, definitely not Areola, because he's a French goalkeeper. I know you mean Iraola. I know. Yeah, no, in those terms, yeah. I think both of them deserve a statue in those things. But if I have to choose one, right? Like, it is what it is. That is the case, because that's why I say this is debatable. It just matters on opinion. Should he have a statue? Does he deserve a statue? That's why I don't get in these arguments and debates with people. It's a nice debate, obviously. I am not against debating it, right? At the same time, I am, for example, as well, not as educated on Arsenal's history that deeply to fully give my opinion. I know the fact that he saved us from liquidation, the Highbury, and all this stuff, right? I know that. Based solely on that, yes, he deserves a statue. But I don't know enough to say yes or no, like 100%. Because let's just say I know more about George Graham time, I know about Wenger time, and all this stuff. On those terms, I can definitely talk about it a bit more. I'll just put it that way. Big up Ramba Basil. Big up, bro. Big up to you. Thank you. The team is his perfect team to win trophies. The thing is, he doesn't win trophies. That is the nuts part. We could get any manager besides Pep, Mignone, and Inzaghi for 15.6 million. Yeah, true. 100%. We could get any manager pretty much, if they would be willing to come, obviously. The thing is, like, do I trust this ownership to get a proper manager? No. That is the nuts part. Because knowing how we have done things before and how we are doing things now, I kind of just don't see it. That is the nuts part. I literally don't see it. At the same time, you have to take a risk, don't you? because it would be a big club mentality. Just sack Arteta mid-season because the things are not going well. Fans are starting to rumble. Injuries are piling up and everything. And just mid-season, buy another manager from a big team that should do, or a very good manager like that. We should be doing that. We should be able to do that. But, well, we don't. That is the nuts part. Because if we talk about 15.6 million, we don't even need to pay that for a big part of the managers. Because even if you offer 10 million, you still can get most of the big managers in the world. Because if you look at the monies that, for example, some of these managers are on, like Luis Enrique and managers like that, they, like, Enrique is on 9.6 million, right? I think 9.5, 9.6. You don't even have to offer 15.6. You can offer him 13. There's a big possibility he will come. Let's be real. Like, obviously, money talks at the end of the day. But to say that we cannot sign a new manager, that is just ludicrous. Because whenever Top Gunners ask who would you take a manager, they always instantly dismisses him. Oh, it's not realistic. Oh, it's not realistic. Yeah, right. Do you think it was realistic for Arsenal to sign Sol Campbell? For example, do you ever thought it was realistic for Arsenal to sign Mesut Ozil? Those type of players? Like, it's very possible. It's just we don't do anything. We just don't act on it. Let's just put it that way. I wanted to ask, I think Ms. Barr or another channel mentioned Glasner's contract is up in December and he's not renewing. Would he? Well, I would take a punt on him. Why not? Because he has shown that he can do it already. In 1 year, he has done something impossible at Crystal Palace. I definitely would. He has won Europa League as well. So he has some European pedigree as well in those terms. So I think he would also play very much better football with better players at his disposal, which obviously Arsenal has to a massive extent. So definitely, I definitely can see it. And also I believe that he would actually give youth much, much more chance, 100%. Anyone that plays a better brand of football than Arteta, I'm happy with. To be honest, it should be a winning one. And people want Ian Wright to have a statue, then we got to give Cliff back. Like, yeah, Ian, personally for me, I love Wrighty, right? Maybe not as an Arsenal ambassador and all this stuff, but Ian Wright, I love the guy. In those terms, how he has played for Arsenal, what he has done for Arsenal in terms of as a player and all this stuff. For me, I don't think he deserves a statue, personally, right? Southgate is available. Not gonna lie, I'd rather have Sam Allardyce as the manager. Slot is on like 6 million. Exactly, Slot is on 6 million only. Man is about to do a double in his first 2 years, earning less than half. Not just half. Arteta's on 15.6. He's on 6, so he's earning 2.5 times less than Mikel Arteta. Think about it that way. Arne Slot at Liverpool is earning 2.5 times less than Mikel Arteta. Big up Gary. Big up Gary. Don't waste the trip and everything. Go subscribe to him as well, people. Show him some love. If you talked about roots, it reminds me that when I was little, my family did all the searching for roots, although a year ago I discovered that I had family in Brazil. Damn, that is some next level. I'm not gonna lie. That is some next level. Do we have a reputation that big name managers don't want to work at Arsenal because we have planks for owners? Does Berta tip this? For me personally, Berta tips the scale. I think Berta tips the scale because on the biggest things right now which is actually kind of nuts, even for me to say this, right? But this ownership has shown that they are willing to spend the money to some extent. Whether it's just backing Arteta or they won't back the next manager, who knows, right? But we are turning profits from all the deals and merch and all that crap, right? And everything. I think that Berta definitely. Oh, my back is killing me. Berta definitely tilts the favors in the big managers, because I'm not gonna lie, Luis Enrique would not want to work at Edu as a sporting director. Andrea Berta is one of the best in the business. Let's be real. And I think many big managers would want to work with Andrea Berta because he actually gets the job done. When he goes in for a player, big possibility he's going to get it. Very big. And he's a serious man. He has proper vision for the team, for the players, and everything. So I definitely believe that being a manager and working together with Berta, I think will outweigh the fact that we have plunkers for owners, let's just put it that way. Especially if they will fund him like, if you're gonna fund him like they funded Arteta. 902 subs, big up to you all. Big up to you all. Much love, people. Thank you for your support. How did Arteta even get 15 million just being shield for the owners? Yeah, basically. He got renewed 3 times. 3 times. 3 times. And 2 of those times, we could have signed Flick, Ancelotti, Conte, Luis Enrique. We could have signed any of those because they were free agents at the time. When's your link up with Russ? I don't know at the moment. Haven't talked. I speak on him on occasion on WhatsApp, right? And obviously in the chats the morning you're there. But we haven't spoken too much about the future link up as of now. Obviously, family emergencies always come first, so I couldn't make it. So it's unfortunate at the same time. Family, as I said, always comes first. It wasn't realistic to sign Isak because Newcastle had Champions League, but realistic for Liverpool to sign him. Yeah, I'm just saying our fan base of Gunners say this. With that said, yeah, same. To be honest, for me personally, I also wanted Gyökeres over Isak. The thing is, though, with Isak, obviously he scores goals, but for me, with Gyökeres, it's better player per value situation. 130 million for Isak, right? Seems very exorbitant amount of money for one striker to pay. Yes, if it's Haaland, I can see it. For Isak, yes, he has scored insane amount of goals in Premier League, like 20 plus goals and all this stuff. At the same time, for 130 million, as a club, we could have done and can do much more. Because if you think about it, for 130 million, if you put it in those terms, we have signed Gyökeres, Eze, and Mosquera, for example. Those 3 players for that money. And if you ask me, that is better player per value situation, given that we have strengthened our squad overall and not just in one position. Let's just put it that way. If we had 500 million for disposal, right, this summer, 130 on Gyökeres, on Isak, I would entertain that idea. But we saw that we have almost 300 million spent, and it was a bit of a struggle. And everything, like, it's a bit different. Also, Isak never won at Arsenal. That is the nuts part, allegedly. I would absolutely say Glasner at Arsenal Palace look more. Dude, 95% of the teams in Europe look more entertaining than Arsenal. Plus, the one good thing that my new manager inherits is solid defense. Exactly. And actually a very decent attack if you manage them properly and provide proper tactics and style for those players. Because the players who we have, especially if we speak about Martinelli, even Odegaard, let's be real, are not as bad as they're playing in the last 2 years, year and a half. It's just the tactics, the style, the Mikel Arteta factor that's ruining everything. I miss Wenger ball. I'm same. Defensively, the latter years we were crap, but to be honest, we didn't have the best of defenses at the time, and Wenger neglected a bit of the defense. Let's be real as well. But with this defense, I think we would cook. Imagine the freedom in attack that Wenger could have done and the ideas we could have played under Wenger. With Saka, Gyökeres, Martinelli, even Eze, even Odegaard. And the youngsters Vangieri and Dauman and Skelly. Imagine what we could play and how we could play. I have my doubts about Glasner. I have as well, but if he was available, and let's just say Conte was not, if we couldn't get Conte, for example, or Flick or Luis Enrique, let's just say we tried and didn't get him, I would say Glasner then. But let's just say if Glasner is available and Enrique is available, right, and we take Glasner and just completely ignore Enrique or don't even try to get Enrique, I would be kind of pissed, not to say the least. I'm so sick of this Alcoup in the fan base, so I'd rather see him than continue listening to who. Yeah, exactly. And you just know that the next manager who comes in is going to get Emery treatment. They will want him out as soon as he steps 1 foot into Arsenal. Let's be real. It's basically like a relationship, you know? Something like that. Because you break up and everything, and you cannot help, and it will feel like the next manager is just a rebound and all this stuff, you know, and nobody's gonna care, and it's gonna get very toxic and all this stuff, and It's gonna be something like that. Give Glasner a billion. We already speaking billions. AJ, 100%. Give 6 years of patience and a billion, and even Dyche would win more than one COVID FA Cup and 2 dinners. So, oh yeah, yeah, I believe that as well. I believe that as well. Andrew, I want Luis Enrique, Hansi Flick, or Inzaghi as my top 3. I get it. Inzaghi is kind of impossible now to get because the money he's in Saudis, it's no. Big up Cooper, people. Big up Cooper and big up people as well. Smash likes and subscribe. How many managers are there that can get you a title in year 2? Well, Slot got in year 1. Conte got it in year 1 at Napoli. Let's be real. So there are quite a few. Flake, we could get it under Flake. Like there are quite a few who did it in year 1. No phases, no nothing. One season, bang, title. There's also that. Let's not forget. Enrique, exactly. Even Dyche doesn't defend this hard. Luis Enrique for next season, better get it done. To be honest, Enrique has said that he would love to manage in Premier League one day, so I wouldn't be surprised if that comes to, let's just say, life, to say the least. That comes to fruition as well at some point. He's been very open about saying that he wouldn't mind managing in Premier League one day. So Arsenal and Berta, if they can muster it up, please do. 100%. I would take Luis Enrique at Arsenal. No questions asked as well. Would take them without a shadow of a doubt. I think Inzaghi wouldn't mind going back to Europe. No, after the contract, yeah, but he's on like what? Enrique at the moment at Saudi is on 20 to almost 21.8 million a year. 21.8 million pounds per year. I don't think Arsenal are going to cough that up to get him out, because to get him out, we would have to pay about 24, 25. And they definitely are not going to do that. Let's be real. Andrew, all 3 we can get just with buy which we can afford up to. Yeah. Like, look at this. Like, the last thing we're going to do today, because I also need to come off. But look at this. Highest paid managers in world football. Simeone is on 26 million. God knows how, but okay. Simeone is on almost 22. Guardiola is on 20.7. Then there's Mikel Arteta, 15.6. Obviously, Saudi owner, 15.5. How David Moyes is on 12.5, I don't know, but it is what it is. Look, Luis Enrique, 9.6, would take him at Arsenal. Matthias Giselle, 9.6, would take him at Arsenal. Ancelotti, 8.4, would take him at Arsenal. Let's be real. Like, where is Arne Slot, 6.4, would take him at Arsenal. Like, that is actually kind of nuts. It hasn't updated as of yet. Glasner at Palace is on 4.6 million. Give him 8 million or even 7, and he's going to come to Arsenal. Let's be real. Like, it's actually kind of nuts if you ask me. Klopp wouldn't come to Arsenal. Klopp wouldn't come to Arsenal just for the sheer fact that he said himself, only team he would be managing in Premier League is Liverpool. That's it. I would definitely take Conte and Thomas Tuchel. See? One's at England, one's at Napoli. Moyes playing good football at Everton, better than last season. Yeah, 100%. Someone on Twitter asked a question in Premier League, from Premier League teams, who has had the best window, right? And I was thinking about this, and I said this. This is my take, basically. Let me see if I can find this. Let me see if I can find this and show it to you quickly before I go, because this is what I said, because someone asked and I answered, basically. Here it is. Now the transfer window is over. Which Premier League club had the best window? First things first, I said Sunderland. That first thing that I thought about. To be honest, for where they are expected to finish, etc., I'd have to agree on the overall improvement they've made, which makes the field quite... He's a Newcastle fan, by the way. Marshall is a Newcastle fan, right? The thing is, though, if we take out Sunderland and their 14 players they have signed, I said that the next best window, if they make it work, yeah, it could be the best window. If we speak on other teams, I said that Everton, interestingly enough, has had the best window. Everton, interestingly enough. And that I meant that from the point of what improvements they got, how they have addressed the team. They managed to hold on to Braithwaite and everything. I said that Everton has had the best window of the Premier League teams. Because it's easy to say Arsenal, it's easy to say Liverpool, given that the money they can afford to spend and everything. Obviously, every single Premier League team has not money to spend. But I said Everton because looking at who they have signed, how they are playing right now, and if they manage to maintain this and David Moyes doesn't screw it up and all this stuff, I would say that Everton definitely has had the best window in Premier League. And yeah, just putting it out there, just like that. But yeah, people. On that note, I think I'm gonna end today's stream. Just chill, relax, and vibes and everything. Let's see if I'm gonna be live tomorrow. I'm just putting this. I'm just gonna say this right now because tomorrow it's my birthday, right? So I haven't decided whether I'm gonna stream or not as of yet. We'll see. If I'm gonna stream, then we're gonna talk some random shit, maybe play some quizzes again or something. We're definitely not gonna talk about football and depressing Arsenal stuff to some extent, right? But yeah, for today, I'm gonna be signing off. So big up, people. Have a nice evening. Have a nice day tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed your stay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I might not. I don't know yet. I literally don't know yet. But yeah, people, for today, I'm going to be signing off. Have a nice evening. Have a nice day tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully nobody gets injured for Arsenal in the international break because tomorrow, of course, some Arsenal players are in action. So hopefully it will be fantastic. And thank you for your birthday wishes, people. Thank you. And no, I'm not going to be celebrating. I'm literally not going to be celebrating. But yeah, people, take care and see you all. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after tomorrow. Peace.